Hi, it's Andrew here from Underground Training, and if you want to talk to somebody that knows how the industry works, the phone number's at the end of the video. In this job hunt video, we're going to have a look at where the entry-level jobs are, but we're also going to have a look at what happens when you go in green to one of these production mining jobs, and the 7 ways that people commonly fail. So we'll go through 7 ways that people fail and the points that they drop off at. But first, let's go over and have a look at the gold price. And that's really strong at the moment, well over $5,000 an ounce Australian and well over $3,000 an ounce US as well. So that's where all the demand is. If you type underground into Seek, you'll see all the jobs come up. These are all entry level. Nobody wants to hire entry-level people because it costs them a lot of money and they go through a lot of people. But as you can see, there's nipper and truck jobs, agi jobs, entry-level, truck again. There's just work all over the country, entry level, but this is where you want to be prioritizing your search, is in the hard rock underground mines, because this is where everybody needs people and everybody's hiring. Now, unfortunately, when people go in green, so they've got no mining knowledge on day one, a whole heap of stuff can happen. And there's basically 7 ways that people fail throughout their first couple of years in their career, and I'll start off with number 1. So, and the first 3 or 4 can all be solved if you actually educate yourself to how it all works. This is one of the reasons why we wrote the training back in the day. We just wanted to give you a really good idea of what was going on. So the DIY, do it yourself, it's got all the information in there that they want you to know, and it puts you 6 to 8 weeks ahead when you can do that. But when you go in green and you've got no mining knowledge on day one, it exposes you to a whole heap of stuff that you wouldn't be exposed to if you did the training. So the first way that people fail is that they turn up and they've done no research, and like I said, they go in green and they turn up on the first couple of days and they start doing their inductions, and there are stories, legendary stories, of people getting off planes and wanting to be put straight back on planes again because they look around and it's not going to be for them straight away. But I'm talking about the people that fail in the first day or 2 or 3 days, when they get up there and they basically go, holy fuck, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, get me the hell out of here. And you can see it, it's written all over their face, and there's a large number of people that do that, and unfortunately, they've burnt a lot of money, they probably quit their job, they've got to go back down to where they came from and get another job because, they've got up there and gone, holy shit, it's not for me. So again, if you had done the training, you probably would have worked out it wasn't going to be for you and you wouldn't have got on the plane to start with. So that's the first point that people fail. Second point people fail is once they learn the job. So they get up there, they go through all the inductions, we get them into the truck, or we get them nippering or in with the agi driver to help to learn what the job is, and they start doing the job, and again, it's holy fuck. If I knew what this job was going to entail, there's no way I would have accepted it, and there's no way I would have come up here. So again, if you'd done the training, you probably would have drawn a line under it at that point and not bothered pursuing it. So if you're up there and you're 3 to 4 weeks into it and you quit, again, you've burnt through a whole heap of money getting to the job. You've got to turn around and find another job when you go back to wherever you came from to sort yourself out so you've got employment. It just becomes a great big fucking mess, unfortunately. So that's one of the reasons why we wrote the training, to stop this happening, because you can see the looks on people's faces when they come up to you to quit. You know that they're going to quit before they actually get to you and quit, because you can just see it written all over their face. The next one, the third one, is to do with people that can't follow instructions. So this is more from a shift boss's perspective. If you can't follow instructions and we're not happy that you're going to do what we actually want you to do, then you don't have a job. We do get a certain amount of people that come in from industries where they think that they've got a lot of experience that'll transfer, that can't be told what to do, and in the end they normally last 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 weeks, and they get put on a plane and sent out home, because we can't have you on site unless we're happy that you're going to follow instructions. Okay, so the fourth one is this person gets up there and they get passed out on the truck and they go and start doing the job by themselves, and it's like, holy shit, they want me to fucking work. I've actually got to do 12 hours. They really want their pound of flesh for their $100,000 a year that they're paying me to drive the truck. And a lot of people just, balk at that, the fact that they've actually got to work. So you get a whole heap of people that quit once they work out that this job isn't just going to be sitting on your ass all day driving around cruisy. It's actually, they want you to work. If your truck's not doing something, they want you to jump on service crew. They want you to go to nipper. There's always something to do. Number 5 is can't make FIFO work. So this can be for a number of different reasons that you can't make FIFO work. It can be a partner thing in Perth. It also can be a sleep thing. I didn't know this. The second person that I ever got on a crew when I first went shift bossing, they had a sleep problem where a certain percentage, I think it's about 9% of the population, can't do night shift because their body physically won't allow them to sleep during the day. And that was the second person that I ever got on a crew when I first started shift bossing. They had that issue. They just couldn't physically sleep during the day. So when night shift rolled around, they lasted about 4 days or 4 nights on night shift. And then, a decision had to be made to their future employment, which, it was, if you can't do night shift, then you don't have a job, unfortunately. And, so FIFO, it's not for everybody. It's pretty hard to work out whether FIFO is going to be for you or not. That's one of the ones where you just got to go up there and suck it and see. But yeah, there's a lot of incidences where people's partners, they get 6 months into it and it's not working for the partner, so they have to pull out for that reason. They're all valid reasons, and that's, if it's not working, you much rather save your relationship than your job. So yeah, but that's the 5th reason they can't make it work. The 6th reason is I'm not going anywhere. I've got 18 months on the truck. Yeah, it's just not going in. I'm quitting. And one of the big reasons that people end up in that position is because they're not told directly what they're getting themselves into and the real expectations are. So if you're just floating along in your job like you would be on a council or something like that with one of these mining production jobs, you aren't going anywhere. They're looking for people that are go-getters. They need people that aren't just going to sit in a truck and wait for more instructions. They're looking for people that are going to seize the day, grab it, go and do what they've got to do. And that's how you make your way up through the ranks. We tell you all about that in the training. We're not backwards in coming forwards and telling you what's going to be required for you to get up through the ranks, and also giving you the tools and knowledge to do it. So what happens to a lot of people that get stuck on trucks is that they go in, they barely scrape it through. All they do is learn how to drive the truck. They get thrown onto service crew for a little while. They either say something like, oh, that's not my job, or they don't perform very well because they don't understand what's going on. Again, if you do the training, there's a full service crew course, so you know what service crew is, so you can make a really good impression first up, which makes a big difference. But if you don't make a good impression first up, it's easy to get stuck on a truck and getting perceived as dead wood. Dead wood are people that just float along. That's why they call them dead wood. You don't want to be labelled as dead wood. If you are, it's one way to get around it is to quit that job and go and get another job somewhere else, or you can just put your head down, bum up, and just have a go. It gets noticed. When people do turn around and start having a go, it really does get noticed. Everything gets noticed by management. Shift bosses and foremen are watching everybody like a hawk because they've got to. And the last one is, the 7th one is the 2-year mark. They get a lot of people that decide after 2 years that mining's not going to be for them. So it's 3 in 5 fail in the first 6 months, and there's only 2 in 10 left after 2 years. It's not that they failed or anything like that. It's just a point that they decide that mining's no longer to be for them, and they exit from the industry. Everybody has a love-hate relationship with mining. Like, I was at the 6-year mark when I had enough of it, and I came back down to Perth and worked in a servo for 4 months before I worked out that I really need money to survive and had to go back again. But, everybody has that love-hate relationship with it at some point. You need to get your head straight and understand what your goals are and set out yourself a plan, because that's the easiest way to go through. But those are the 7 ways that people fail getting into the mining industry, and the easiest way to make sure it doesn't happen to you is to educate yourself, to use the Intro to Underground Mining course. It's only $495. They take Zip and Afterpay and PayPal and all that sort of stuff. It just goes through everything that you need to know. And the reason is that it's all about gold and copper mines in 2025. There's just work everywhere. And if you're going to try and get into a mining job, you need to try and get into a production mining job. Don't waste your time with civil or shutdown or a surface truck job that's going to be sent driverless in the next couple of years. It's just a big waste of time. You need to go straight into a production mining job. It's where the jobs are. And if you want to see why the gold production mining jobs are the best ones to have, this is the gold price over the last 12 months in Australian dollars. And as you can see, it's got a nice little cap up there around $5,000 an ounce, which is just huge money. But if you want to get in, the easiest way in is to educate yourself. You can use the 3-step plan or the work ready package. We do a mining resume in-house for you. The 3-step plan package is a good way to get a cheap mining resume. These are resumes that you wouldn't use for anything else but to get a mining job. We specifically write them to talk to the foreman in the interview, to make them know that you've educated yourself to get yourself a mining job. And that's the way we help people get work. There's work all over the country, like I said. If you type underground into Seek, you'll see all the jobs come up, and they're everywhere. And you can go through them. It's driller's assistant underground in Perth, more truck driving jobs. It's just everywhere. It's just pages after pages of entry-level jobs. More nipper and truck jobs, pace crew. Nobody wants to take people for entry-level pace crew, but they've got to in a lot of places around the country, purely because they just don't have anybody with experience that wants these jobs. There's so much work around at the moment in all these jobs around the country. Anybody that's got 12 months truck driving experience in them, that's got some go in them, they're trying to work their way up through into a service crew or pace crew job because it pays $30,000 to $40,000 a year more. Just like anybody that's in service crew or pace crew is looking for a charge up or a bogger's job, and the same way that the charge up and the bogger people are looking to get onto the jumbo because everything pays more and there's lots of advancement going on around the place as all these mines open up and the production ramps up. I hope you found that information helpful. And if you are trying to get into the industry, make sure that you educate yourself, learn what you're getting yourself into before you go. Otherwise, it could cost you a lot of time and money, and it's really easy to fail those first few ways if you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But if you want to check out the training at undergroundtraining.com.au. And if you want to talk to somebody that knows how the industry works, the phone number's at the end of the video.